So welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily MCQ Practice. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's current affairs through a set of 4 to 5 MCQs. Now today we are going to be covering the current affairs of 14th September 2024 and we'll be covering them through a set of 4 MCQs. So pay close attention because the purpose of this lecture series is twofold. Number one, you get to revise your current affairs, and number two, you get the much needed MCQ practice which will come in really handy for your next year's prelims examination. All right. So pay close attention to this lecture series. Follow this lecture series as a part of your daily routine. Make it a daily habit of yours, and it will take you leaps and bounds as far as your UPSC preparation is concerned. All right. So without further introduction, let's straight away jump to question number 1. Consider the following statements regarding helium. It is an inert gas with the lowest boiling point. Helium is the lightest element in the periodic table. It is used to pressurize fuel tanks or space launch vehicles. Okay, so look, helium is an inert gas. That part is absolutely correct. And helium's atomic number is 2 and its mass number is 4. As far as gases go, it is the second lightest gas. The lightest gas would be hydrogen. So hydrogen is the lightest element, helium is the second lightest element. All right. And again, as far as gases go, helium has the lowest boiling point. It is around minus 269 degrees Celsius. No other gas has as low a boiling point as helium. Plus, it's an inert gas, so it does not react with any other element in the periodic table. So first part is correct. Helium is the lightest element. No, hydrogen is the lightest element, so this part is false. And because of these properties of helium, it's an inert gas, it has a low boiling point, it's quite light. It is used to fill up space in the fuel tanks of space vehicles or space launch vehicles, space rockets. Okay, so space rockets have fuel, plus they have oxidizer to burn the fuel. All right, the rest of the space is filled up with helium gas. Because it is inert, it does not react with the fuel, neither with the fuel nor with the oxidizer. Because it has a low boiling point, so it remains in the gaseous state even in the fuel tank, because in the fuel tank the temperatures are quite low. Okay, and because it is quite light, it does not add to the weight of the launch vehicle. So that is why it is used as a gas to fill up space, to pressurize, to give pressure to the fuel tanks, basically. Okay. Third statement is correct. Only 1 and 3 are correct. Only 2 statements are correct. The correct option would be B. All right. Question number 2. Which of the following statements regarding Port Blair or its new name, Sri Vijayapuram, are correct? It was colonized by the East India Company in 1789 and made a penal colony. Andaman Islands were used by Cholas as a naval base to attack Indonesia. The Cholas refer to the island as Ma Nakkavaram. Select the correct option from below. Now look, recently Home Minister Amit Shah announced on Twitter or the X platform that Port Blair, the capital of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, the name Port Blair shall be changed to Sri Vijayapuram. Now, Port Blair was the capital of Andaman and Nicobar Island, and it was Nicobar Islands, and it was first colonized by the East India Company in 1789. Port Blair gets its name from Archibald Blair. Okay, he was the first one to conduct a detailed survey of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and hence Port Blair was named after him. All right. So he was a naval surveyor in the East India Company. He surveyed the entire chain of islands, and for that, the capital city of Andaman and Nicobar Islands was named after him. Okay. Now, the British, the East India Company, colonized it in 1789, and they made this colony a penal colony. Now, what do we mean by penal colony? Anyone who got punishment in British India, all right, any serious punishment, anyone who conducted a serious crime against the British Empire in India would be sent to Port Blair. This was a very draconian jail, a torturous jail, and only serious offenders or freedom fighters were sent to this, including V.D. Savarkar. He was also sent to this. During colonial times, this jail, the cellular jail in Port Blair, was known as Kala Pani. So it was also known as Kala Pani ki Saza. All right. So it was a penal colony, absolutely correct. Now, in 1050, the Cholas were at their peak, and their ruler, Rajendra I, he actually attacked Indonesia. Now, to attack Indonesia, he needed a naval base, and he made Port Blair or Andaman Islands as his naval base to attack Indonesia. Indonesia back then was known as Sri Vijaya. All right. Hence, when Rajendra I of the Chola dynasty won against Sri Vijaya's king, and that is why this place is known as Sri Vijayapuram. Okay, because he won against Sri Vijaya, and he won against Sri Vijaya from this naval base. That is why Port Blair is being renamed as Sri Vijayapuram, because from here only Rajendra I of the Chola dynasty defeated Indonesia or Sri Vijaya back in those days. Okay, so this is also correct. Now Cholas conquered Indonesia in 11th century. Okay, 1050. Now, in one of the inscriptions found in Thanjavur, okay, mentions that the Cholas named these islands, named Andaman Islands, Nakavaram. Okay, Nakavaram means open naked land. So Cholas used to call these islands as Nakavaram, and that is why the word Nicobar also comes from this. The Nicobar word used by the British comes from Nakavaram word. Okay, so this is also correct. All statements are correct. Okay, question number 3. Consider the following statements regarding Typhoon Yagi. It was a Category 5 tropical cyclone that caused destruction in Southeast Asia. This was the only Category 5 tropical cyclone recorded in South China Sea so far. Unusually warm temperatures in South China Sea and global warming played significant role in the intensity of this storm. Now, recently, a very powerful tropical cyclone called Typhoon Yagi struck Southeast Asia. It struck Philippines, it struck Vietnam, and many other Southeast Asian countries and caused destruction all over. Now, look, tropical cyclones are based on their wind speed are categorized into 5 categories. Okay, from category 1 to category 5. Category 1 means weak storm. Category 5 means the strongest storm. Now, Typhoon Yagi was the strongest storm. Okay, it was very strong. It was a Category 5 tropical cyclone, and hence it caused the death of more than 300 people. It has caused destruction in South China Sea. This is correct. Now, so far in the South China Sea, there have been 4 Category 5 tropical cyclones. Okay, the first one ever recorded in South China Sea was Pamela in 1954. Then there was this tropical cyclone called Ramanum in 2014. Then there was this tropical cyclone called Rai in 2021, and now it is Yagi. So far, only 4 Category 5 tropical cyclones have been recorded in South China Sea. Okay, so it was not the only. There have been 3 tropical cyclones of Category 5 in the past as well. So this is false. Now, the reason why Typhoon Yagi was so intense and so strong, people say that climate change or global warming has a role to play in this. Because of global warming, South China Sea has been unusually warm. And warm sea surface temperatures actually play a significant role in intensifying a tropical cyclone. So third statement is also correct. 1 and 3 only. All right. And last but not the least, consider the following statements regarding OpenAI's 001 model, O1 AI model. It is part of OpenAI's Project Strawberry. It has the potential to replace the jobs of PhD students, researchers, and scientists. Which of the above statements are correct? Now, recently, under Project Strawberry, OpenAI, the founders of ChatGPT, under Project Strawberry have launched a new AI model called O1 model, which will replace complex tasks performed by researchers, okay? Research physicists, chemists, mathematicians, coders, right? So all the research level jobs would be performed by this OpenAI's AI model. All right. Now it says, OpenAI says that they found during testing of this model that it can replace the job of PhD students and researchers and scientists as well. So both statements are correct, both 1 and 2 C option. And with that, we conclude today's session. See, it didn't take long, but if you just spend around 10 minutes daily with me, it won't take that much of your time. But cumulatively, along the way, by the end of 1 year, you would have covered many MCQs for your prelims examination. So like I said before, at the beginning of this lecture, make this lecture series a part of your daily routine. All right? Now, if you want to download a PDF file for this lecture, which contains all the important questions discussed in this lecture, along with their detailed solutions, you can download that PDF file from our Telegram channel. The link to our Telegram channel is given in the comment section below. So go on that link, go to our Telegram channel and download the PDF file. Okay. On that note, I'll be signing off and I'll see you next time with next day's current affairs through MCQs. Thank you, everyone.